So I am back and I've decided to make a chit chat get ready with me video. I've been seeing these all over YouTube and I really like them for a couple of reasons. For one, I just enjoy watching people put on their makeup, but I also feel like it's, a great chance to get to know the person on the other side of the camera and really get to hear about their lives and what they go through on a day-to-day basis or whatever. Just catch up with them. So in this video I am going to just talk about what I've been going through and what I've experienced over the past month. I just got back from Africa. I've been in Kenya and South Sudan for the past month. I spent a majority of the time in Kenya though. I was only in South Sudan for about a week. But it was still an amazing trip, so I've got a lot to talk about there. And then also I just got so much to talk about coming back to the States and trying to, just readjust and everything like that. But we will talk about that as I get ready. As you can tell, I already have done my eyebrows, and that's just because it's such a process to do your eyebrows. You all know, you ladies, like it would have been like a 10, 15, 20-minute video on its own if I just did my brows on camera. So I saved everyone some time and I've already put them in. I might make a video some other time, but other than that, let's get started and let's just chit chat. You can throw on your face with me. Yo, I really do just say like, oh, I have to put my face on or whatever. I don't know if you guys do that, but that's how I talk. So you can put your face on with me, or you can just sit and watch, enjoy, listen, talk back to me. I usually talk back to the camera usually when I'm watching other people's videos. I'm like, yo, that, I'm experiencing that too. But anyways, let's get started. So to kick it off, I'm going to use my MAC Prep and Prime. You guys see me use this in all my other videos. I really like it, so we will use that. And I most likely will be like looking off to the mirrors or into the camera just so I can put my face on properly. But okay, so like I said, I just got back from Kenya and South Sudan. My sister, one of my eldest sisters, got married out there this past month, which was amazing. If you went to the wedding, you know it was amazing. So I am just so happy and kind of sad. I didn't realize, like, it's starting to hit me like, okay, my sister's married now, and she has her own household, she has her own husband, everything like that. Like, it's so crazy, but I'm just so happy for her and her husband. It's just a great feeling. It was really nice to be there and everything. So, but if you don't know, I'm from South Sudan. I'm pretty sure I told you guys this last time. But so besides going to Kenya, I also went to South Sudan, and that was my first time there, period. I was born in Egypt, so it was really nice to go and just get to see my country and get to be around my people. It's such a great feeling. Like, I know everyone who, I guess, wherever you're from can relate. Like when you go back to your homeland and to be completely surrounded by people who are of the same culture as you, is just, I don't know, such a great feeling. That in itself was the highlight of my trip, because I wanted to go back so bad just to see how, the country is and everything like that. As you all know, well, actually, some people might not know, but we are the youngest nation in the world. We just separated from Sudan, now Sudan, and we are South Sudan. And so we've been at war for the longest time, and just to come out of that is crazy, and we just got so much going on in our country. But it was so great to go back and see what the country actually looks like and how people are, like, and everything like that. So it was such a great feeling. I'm not a fan of unpaved roads, which clearly there's a lot of, and but other than that, it was a great feeling to be there and to see it. Even though South Sudan is behind in a lot of things, I don't know, even though they're behind, they are there's just so much potential in the country, and that's why I really wanted to go see what I could do, you know, because I want to play my part. Unlike a lot of people, not a lot of people want to go back to their homelands and help out, you know, like if your country, I don't know, needs developing or something like that. But I definitely want to play my part and do something in my country and help out. I do have an organization here in the States with a few of my friends, and we put together youth conferences and everything like that. We try to do our part here in the States to educate the youth and, you know, keep them in school, help them to continue their education, and just pretty much stay focused and, you know, help out in the community and whatnot. So we've been doing that, but we're looking to continue our organization and, you know, take it back home. So it was really nice to just go see what needs to be done out there. So that's that part of my trip. But other than that, in Kenya, I spent a majority of my time in Kenya, and just being out there was amazing too. That was my first time out there. Seeing how developed they are, you know, really just has so many things running through my mind, because I know how much potential South Sudan has. So I don't know, I feel like that's a video in itself talking about like what my vision is for my country and what I want to do out there. But truly this has been a life-changing trip, and just coming back from it is so crazy, because now it's like trying to get back into the swing of things, but it's like my heart is out there and I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I need to be doing something more, especially for those of you who have just graduated from college as well. Maybe you feel the same way. Like, I just feel like, because I'm not doing what I want to be doing. So, I don't know. I just feel like I should be doing so much more. I feel like there should be, I don't know, at this point I feel like I should be like changing the world. But that's just me. If you really know me, like, you know, I really want to make an impact on this world, on this planet. I feel like we should all do our part just as human beings to just make the world a better place. But so I've been pretty down since I returned, just because I loved it so much out there. And just coming back has just, I don't know, it hit me hard. Like, I, for a couple of days, literally just been laying around doing nothing, I haven't even like unpacked my suitcase or anything like that. It took a couple of days. It took me about 3-4 days to literally, and actually I think it took me 3 days to unpack my suitcase, get my life together, and be like, okay, y'all, like, you really need to get back in the swing of things, you know, like, God is good, just, you know, everything happens for a reason, and, you know, he took you there to go see the country for a reason. He brought you back so that your mind could start, you know, running, seeing, like, what I can do. So now I'm trying to figure out what I should do to, you know, help out my country, I guess. But like I said, I don't know, I'm going to be rambling on about that, so let me just cancel out of that. But for those of you who are back at school, congrats, you know, and welcome back to school, I guess. Back to school season. It's kind of funny how much I miss it now that I'm out of it. It's like, I'm one of those people who truly loves back to school season. So yeah, I'm a nerd. I really do. I love it. It's so much fun. Just getting your school supplies and your planners. I think the planner is my favorite part. I think that's why I just love going back to school, just because I get to write out my planner, color coordinate everything, you know, set my meetings, set my schedule, just everything. So that's maybe that's why I like going back to school. But now that I'm out of it, I'm trying to figure out what I should do. I'm planning to go back to South Sudan eventually, but I'm also planning to move to Austin, Texas, because I want to go to grad school out there. As you guys know, I'm pretty sure I talked about that in a prior video or something like that. But other than that, my life has pretty much been the same. I am going back to work today. I'm so excited. It's pretty much like the first day of school for me. And let's see how long that lasts. But I love my workplace. They know it. I know it. It's like it's meant to be. Oh, I forgot. I also just got back from South Dakota. My oldest sister got married as well. Her traditional wedding just happened. So, oh my gosh, such a blessing, I guess. 2 weddings in about a month for my family. So that's been amazing. And I'm so happy for her as well. Like, man, the way I love my family. I think you realize as you get older how important family is. How important it is to truly just, stand by each other's sides and be there for each other. And just, you realize how fast time is going and how important it is that you really just make sure that you remind people how much you love them and everything like that. So, I don't know, just being out there in SD, because I haven't seen her in a while, it was such a good feeling as well, just to be around her and my niece and nephew. And I guess just enjoying quality family time. That's pretty much that. But now that I'm back home, my biggest thing is to get my life together so that I can move, so that I can, I don't know, feel like I'm doing something. I cannot wait to move to Texas. Like, it's been in my heart for so long. And as long as it works out, not as long as it works out, but as long as everything goes smoothly, that's how I know it's going to be like God's will for me and not something that's forced. I don't want to do something that's forced at all. I want to get out there and I want to make something of myself. I've been working on a lot of plans and business ideas, because maybe you know, maybe you don't know, I love business. That's actually what I got my degree in, business admin and human resource management. So I definitely want to put that degree into use and make something of myself out there. So mark my words, I will not be a bum for long. I feel like I'm the only person who's broke. I don't know about y'all, because y'all out here traveling and whatnot. Yo, Instagram and Facebook is like the devil, because you really feel like people got lives. Because that's how I feel right now. But you know what? It's okay. In due time. When God wants to bless me with that stuff, He is going to bless me with those things. Speaking of God, how's your relationship with God? Because I don't feel like I fell out of it, but I feel like I did get distant a little bit from Him. And it's so crazy, because I think this trip really saved me. Like, this trip to Africa saved me in my relationship with God, because it just brought me so much closer to Him, and it made my faith so much stronger, like to a whole nother level. Because once I got home, I was like, okay, like, God, like, I really hear you now. And I always pray for a spirit of discernment and just to be able to hear God, when He speaks to you. And it's so crazy, because for the longest time I kept trying to figure out how do you hear the voice of God? How do you hear the voice of God? But God is always speaking to you. It's whether you're listening or not. It's how sensitive you are to the Holy Spirit. And so I think that's why I'm so happy that I went on this trip as well, because that helped me realize that, for the longest time I've been searching for God's voice, but all along it's been right there. So now that I've figured that out, I'm just like, I'm not trying to play with my relationship with Him anymore. I definitely I'm not playing no more. I'm gonna be more serious. As always, it seems like we always fall out of our relationships with Christ. But I will be the one to let you know that that is just your walk with Christ. You will always run into things, but just remember that, God is never He's never going to leave you. He never leaves you, first of all. You might feel like he's gone, or that he has left, or that he is nowhere to be found. But he is always there, and he will always be there. That's something that we have to always remember, because that's something that I always forget. So, and I know if I always forget, I know I'm not the only one out there who forgets, but just remember that he never leaves you at all. He's always there. Always, always there. Sorry, this takes some concentration at least. You know, I used to not do all this. Actually, I still kind of don't. I only do sometimes. Depends on how much, I don't know. It depends on what look I'm going for, really. Usually, sometimes. These days, I've been kind of contouring my face and whatnot more, but as you can tell, I don't do too much, though. I try to keep it pretty light. Because I don't know, I don't like to wear too much makeup. And I don't know, as you can tell, when you see in the end, there's not really too much of a difference between my face in the beginning and in the end. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I was speaking about how with your walk with Christ, just remember that, first of all, don't keep to yourself, because that's like the biggest thing that the devil wants to do. He always wants to keep us alone. He wants to separate us from other believers. He wants to separate you from your friends, your family. Don't be alone. That's when you start thinking crazy. That's when you start getting depressed and whatnot. Like, don't do it. Always, always, always surround yourself with other believers, first of all. And always don't forget to read your Bible. That's something that I don't do consistently, that like I always pray about and that I always try to work on. That's something that I'm constantly working on, reading the Bible, because I don't know, like, how you have to think about, how are you going to hear the voice of God if you don't know his word? How's that going to happen? And when I think of that, I'm like, yo, man, like, you need to get together, because you're not going to be able to hear his voice if you don't even know his word. Like, if you really think about it. So that's something that I'm constantly, always working on. And actually, like, my biggest struggle currently was hearing his voice. And, you know, just trying to figure out, like, is it really his will for me to, you know, do certain things? I'm always trying to consult him and see, like, you know, God, is this really of you? Is this really what you want me to do? Because I don't want to even bother, like, messing with my salvation. Like, no one, we came into this world alone and we're going to leave alone. So no one's going to mess me up with my walk with Christ. It's really, if I ever mess up, it's me on my own, and I try to repent as quick as I can and get on the right path with God. Just because I feel like it's more me in my head. Like, every time I do something wrong or something, I always feel like God's not going to forgive me, or that, you know, I've been, like, I don't know why I think that. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I always feel like he's not going to forgive me. I'm so much harder on myself than, you know, other people are, or whatever. They're always like, oh, chill out. Like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But to me, I just feel like I let God down so much. But, just know that when you feel like you messed up and you feel like God's not gonna forgive you or anything like that, just know that he is always there, and there's nothing that you can do that will make God cut you off unless you truly are not remorseful. If you ask for forgiveness, you're forgiven. You have to remember that. That's something that, even when I ask for forgiveness and I know that I'm forgiven, I'm still hard on myself. But you have to let it go afterwards, because I feel like when you hold things in, it's going to make you bitter. So bitter. And who has time to be bitter? You have you don't know how much time you have on earth. You know what I mean? You don't know what tomorrow brings. You don't even know what's gonna happen in the next hour. So you gotta make sure that you let grudges go, that you forgive, and that you just be happy. Just be happy. Look at the world in a different way. I always try to look at the world like God's artwork, because it really is. So usually sometimes you'll hear me, if you ever hang out with me or see me around or hear me in a video, you might hear me like say, wow, look at God, or wow, look at God's artwork. You know, like when I look up at the clouds, or when I see, you know, the world, how God created man and how man creates, you know, different things. It's so amazing to see. So amazing to see God's creations. And when you look at the world like that, I feel like you truly start to appreciate, you know, everything that God created. And it makes you, I don't know, just live happier. We don't have time to stress. Like, I really don't have time to stress. I don't have energy to stress either. So I try to stay positive, and I try to keep, I don't know, I just try to stay as positive as I can and live life to the fullest. Live every day like it's my last. And that's what I'm just trying to do. I'm trying to figure out what to do now. Yeah, I don't know. Wow, didn't mean to go into preaching, but really, just work on your relationship with God. I feel like it's so important. It's so important that as like believers, especially as young Christians, there's just so much of this world that there's so many temptations and so many people trying to steer you off to make you do the wrong things. Like, got something in my mouth. Steer you off and do the wrong things, but you know, stay true to yourself and hold your ground. Like, if you know that you're not trying to do something, don't even like bother. Like, don't let someone set you up. Don't let someone steal your joy or your salvation. Like, yo, man, like I said, you came into this world alone, you're gonna go out alone. So they're not gonna save you. That boy is not gonna save you, or anything like that. Speaking of boys, since both of my sisters got married, it's so crazy. I don't know how many times I'm gonna hear like, oh, like, when are you gonna get married? Like, I hear this on a daily basis. And I need to let people know, I need to make a PSA that I am not worried about marriage. Believe it or not. Like, I used to be so worried, like, God, oh my gosh, who am I gonna be with, and da-da-da. No, I am really not worried. I'm not worried because, one, God got me. And two, like, when it happens, it's gonna happen. I don't need to stress about it. I don't need to worry. I don't know. I just don't need to worry about anything like that because I don't have time. That's another thing I don't have time for. To worry about a man. I need to worry about myself. That's what I need to worry about. I need to get my life together first, because if my Adam comes around and like I got nothing going for myself, that makes no sense. We're not both gonna be broke. I'm not trying to be broke. You can't come to me broke. Like, we need to both be working right now, so when we get together we have like an empire together. You know what I mean? So that's definitely something I'm not worried about at all. At all. And ask me if I care. So many people try to approach me and whatnot, but I really don't care. It's not that I think I'm better or up, like, I don't know what it is. I feel like I can kind of thank God for that as well, because when someone comes up to me, like, I know right away whether you're serious or not. I can tell. And I've met so many great guys, but I don't know what it is. I'm just not in a rush, and I'm not gonna force anything that is not, you know, the will of God. I'm just really not gonna force anything. I'm not gonna risk anything or force myself with other people at all. That's just not what I'm gonna do. Yo, speaking of other things, that there's just so many things running through my mind right now that I kind of want to talk about, but my time is running. I don't want to make this video too long. and I gotta go places. But another thing, like with YouTube and everything like that, I feel like I've always been falling off. And my website, if you haven't checked it out, it's just GRWM.com. I know, right? Plug that in. Like, what's wrong with me? Anyways, definitely check out my website. But I feel like I've been I always fall off. I feel like I just never stay consistent, and I don't know why. I really don't. I always try to figure this out, and consistency is key with everything. I don't know what it is. I feel like when I start doing something like really well or something like that, I just never want to disappoint people. And if it's not perfect, I'm not going to put anything up. I'm not going to put anything out. Which you would think that would make me work harder and faster to get things out all the time. But then I also don't want to fail because I don't know. I don't want to fail, but in turn, I'm failing pretty much. Because if I'm not putting anything out, I'm failing. That's pretty much, that's what it is. So, I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel that way too, but it's being consistent and being determined. Like, I'm determined, but I'm not consistent. Does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense. I need to get it together. I really do. If you have any tips or advice or anything for me to stay focused, yo, please let me know, because this is a community effort. We really need to work together to make sure that we're all successful. So that's just, I don't know, that's just what I need to do. Be consistent with that. And it's so crazy because you guys don't know my love for YouTube. Like, you don't know my love for YouTube. There's like YouTube people and there's like TV people, Netflix people. No, I'm a YouTube person. I can spend hours on YouTube. Hours, okay? And it's so crazy because I'll get so motivated when I watch all these videos and everything like that, and then it all just goes out the window. There's so many videos that I have recorded and even edited that I have not even put up, or videos that I put up but they're like just closed off and everything like that. And I don't know why I do stuff like that to myself, because it's like I watch my colleagues do the same thing. So other YouTubers or other bloggers and everything, you know, I watch them do what they're doing, and I don't know what holds me back. Sorry, I feel like I just needed a much closer mirror to do my eyeliner. But I don't even remember what I was saying or talking about, to be honest. But anyways, with YouTube and my website and everything like that, I just feel like, especially coming back from this trip, it's made me realize how much I have to offer not only other people but the world, and how much I owe to myself to truly be dedicated to something and consistent with something. So I am vowing now, I make this promise every single week, but vowing now to just, you know, get consistent with everything, with my walk with Christ, with the plans that I set for myself and the goals that I make for myself, and also my YouTube channel and my website. Just, that's how much I owe myself, and that's how much I owe you guys, people who watch me, you know, consistently, and people who are always cheering me on and everything like that. Like, that's the least I can do. That's as much as I owe people. But this is a look I'm going for today. I'm gonna throw on some lashes after this, of course. But thank you guys so much for chit-chatting with me, getting ready. Let me know down below if you are struggling with anything I'm struggling with, if you feel the same way that I feel, or just let me know what's on your mind. What are you thinking about? What's got you going crazy, and what do you want to chit-chat about? So until next time, you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video.